Hello and welcome back to my Fire Red Nuzlocke. Most folks just call me Orange Joe, and in the last episode, we crushed Coca. Like, it wasn't even close. Now, I don't expect the same out of Sabrina, which we are doing today, but I do not expect the same just because it was too easy, right? For Coca, it was like, we got through it with such little resistance that I was kind of shocked. But at the end of the last episode, I told you I'd make a couple discoveries, and I did. Excuse me. Sorry. Ugh, wrong tubes and so on. So, the discoveries I made were that I am a fool. I found out if we had a Route 19 encounter. We hadn't. And I found out if we had a Pallet Town encounter, because I was like, no, we haven't done that. I'm sure we haven't. We did. So, I was backwards. I thought we had done a 19 and had not done a Pallet Town, but we had done a Pallet Town, had not done a 19. So, we still have a Route 19 encounter to do, which is the route just south of Coca, in the water. And then we have the... we do not have the Pallet Town encounter, but there's a route just south of Pallet Town, and we do get that encounter, and I actually think there might be two in between it and the Cinnabar Island, I think it's called. So we have that to look forward to, and we're at the point right now actually where we could genuinely go after the legendary birds as well, because we have fly. So like that's on my radar. Just know that, because like part of it's like, we could just go check out the Zapdos situation right about now, and I don't hate that idea. I really don't, because we have Master Ball, and if it is a legendary or something that's like, oh, we gotta have it, we could just have it, and it'd be a level 50 right away. But on the other hand, it's a level 50, and if it's not something we're gonna Master Ball, we have to fight it down to a point where we can catch it, right? So I think we're gonna hold off for a bit on that and just kind of train up a little bit. Hopefully get our stuff around, like, I'm thinking Pokemon average around level 45 is about where I'd be comfortable with it. Maybe have like one Pokemon or two at 45 and then the rest around 40 to 43. Then I'd be like, okay, well, it should be fine. But, I don't want to be much more than 5 levels off of whatever we're running headfirst into. Just because I don't want it to be like, oh cool, our type-affected Pokemon are useless. Which is possible. Genuinely, that's possible. So, we'll hold off, like I said, for now, on the legendaries, but just know we could get Articuno and Zapdos' encounter, like, right now if we wanted to, before we even fought Sabrina. But I'm foolish, but not that foolish, I think. I'm not willing to risk that much so early. I think we have plenty of time to train up, especially because we have 2 so underleveled Pokemon right now as it is, that I wouldn't want to... see what happens. Bad happens. I wouldn't want to put that much on the line just for us to fail for no reason. Oh, right. So I expect me to be patient with that one. Have a bit of a long view. Now, will we go to the numbered islands before catching either of those legendary birds and just go for Moltres first? I don't know. I don't know. Because part of me is like, well, Moltres would be plenty of time for us to... I think we're going to get off the train real quick and go heal up. Moltres would be plenty of time for us to level up our Pokemon, our whole team, to a state where we're like, yeah, I'm happy with this, and we can fight a level 50 now. But it's also like, that's so late in the game that we would have... You know, do you have to fight Blaine before the numbered island, or... It's either, at most, 2 gym fights left, and then Victory Road, right? So, part of me is like, well, it'd be really nice to have, like, 1 one of the legendary birds, or two, before we go to the numbered islands, but... And obviously, like, I don't know what they are, so they might be garbage Pokemon that we don't keep anyway, despite them being level 50s. Like, them being a level 50 is almost incentive enough to be like, yeah, they're on the team. But, on the other hand, is it incentive enough? I don't know. I truly don't know. Now, we will have fought all of the... all of the, like, trainers surrounding... Shoot, I forgot that I had this guy in front. Surrounding Sabrina now. So, now it's just going to be me floundering around on the teleport pads until I figure out how to get to Sabrina. Sorry, I had to fall silent for a second. Someone is complaining that I'm not hanging out with them right now, that I'm recording instead. And I'm basically telling them, get over it. Sky Uppercut, that's a good move, isn't it? Let's see. The user attacks... Force. I mean, I gotta tell ya. That's pretty good. I think we can get rid of Fire Punch for Sky Uppercut. I know Mach Punch is, like, pretty weak. It's not doing a lot of damage. And it's certainly going to be the next move to go, because Ice Punch is not going anywhere. Excuse me, I think Thunder Punch has been proving its worth for us. Fire Punch, the only reason that I'm like, it can go away, is because any situation where we'd want fire, I would rather Charizard be out there. You know. The only time that's, like, iffy on that is, like, an Aggron situation, but then an Aggron we could use fighting against. And, like, that's such a power move that if it lands, it's going to do crazy damage. I don't see us ever using Fire Punch realistically. So I think that one's okay to get rid of. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Now, are we going to leave to heal right before the boss? Nah, we'll just use a potion. But no, that friend is like, oh, well, you know, you should hang out with me. I'm like, I would love to. Truly, I would, buddy. But I gotta do this. I've been neglecting recording recently, so here we are. Yeah, I hate to lead with Torchy again, because Torchy is becoming our ace, but I gotta. Torchy's just that good right now. Never thought I'd be saying that about a friggin' Lantern, but here we are. So... I don't remember what room it is that gets you to Sabrina. So, anyway. What the heck was I talking about? Pokemon. Catching oh, I found it. Catching Pokemon and so on. Shoot. I completely derailed myself by texting that freaking goon back. Well, that's my bad. Either way, just know that I know what's on the horizon for us, and I have a lot of thoughts about what we should do about it, but I'm not sure where to take it. Ryder Webster. Almost, if not all of the frickin' gym leaders seem to be writers of some sort. This one will still be a pretty tough fight, because they're going to have another ace that's well above our ace, right? The last time it was a 42, and I think Sabrina's ace is a 43 or so. And the issue there is that if it's a really strong 43, we're in trouble. A Venonat will put Lizardius against... Ooh, excuse me. Oh, there we go. 38 again, so this isn't your ace. I was hoping it was. But we have time to figure it out here on the fly. I'm not super worried, but if it's like a legendary, we are in deep trouble. So this should be the ace, I believe. This game, for some reason, has a tendency with 4 Pokemon to put the ace out before the second one. It's a jinx. Psychic, Ice. Fighting, Fire, Dark. Yeah, we'll leave Lizardius in. 37, definitely not the ace. But we should be okay with the flamethrower. That should just dust you, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, Jinxes are like a problem if they get to hit you, because they'll just put you to sleep or whatever, but a Ponyta. So Ghost should be able to handle this, no problem. But I'm worried about its level difference. It should be a pretty high level, and it'll probably know like Stomp or something. Yeah, 43. So we just need to hit. Takedown is about what I would expect as well. Alright. I said we just need to hit. Okay, so that's not that bad. We can handle that. We just need to not get paralyzed or whatever by it. Never mind. Won't matter. So yeah, that was, again, a pretty easy gym fight, honestly. I'm kind of surprised at how quickly that went by, but here we are. And like, these 2 easy gym fights had me all, you know, all puffing my chest, because like, oh, well, maybe I could go fight a little 50 whatever Pokemon. You know, it happens to be our legendary birds, but no way. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. Ain't no way. It is not Calm Mind. I promise you that TM4 is not Calm Mind. Let's find out what TM4 is. It is Helping Hand. Garbage. Alright, well, man, see ya, Sabrina. That was very easy. So now we are 2 gyms away from Victory Road, basically. Like, we're pretty much, like, we're getting to be in the final stretch of the game here. So, you know, it's been a very long time since I've had a Nuzlocke make it this far. Very long time. So, what is the next hurdle for us? Because admittedly, that corridor of the game, like, from the start of Silphco, I mean, like, even if you want to stretch it a little further than that, from the start of the, like the Pokemon Tower or whatever that's called, like, that section till right now is a hard wall, for sure. I lose in that corridor very often. Also, right away, like, usually, the first roadblocks for me are right away, like, literally the first area right after you get Pokeballs. That area can just kill you straight up, and with Viridian Forest included. The next one, Misty. The next one after that. Alright, now you're asking real questions. Honestly, it's gotta be Lavender Town. Like, this whole section of Lavender Town up through Saffron is the next major roadblock. And then, what would I say is after that? Like, Blaine? Maybe? Even then, like, Blaine isn't super tough. Super tough. So then, what do you have after Blaine? Well, you got the island, which the island has a couple of hard fights in it, but like... Okay, Route 21. So this is a new encounter for us. But nothing that I'm like super afraid of. And then, where do you go from there? Well... Giovanni, definitely. And then Victory Road. And then the Elite Four. Like, the final corridor of the game. Good encounter, please. A little Larvitar! I would love it. We can't hurt you, though. We can confuse you. And then you can hurt yourself. That'd be cool. T-Tar would be... be cool. But, like... I gotta be real with you. There's, like, no way I'm training up a Larvitar to be a T-Tar at this stage of the game. It's just not gonna happen. Unless we, like, have a dire need for a team change. And even then, like, Tyranitar's really good, right? Moveset's bad, though, in this generation. Although we have some TMs we can probably teach him that would level that playing field pretty well. But, like, just being straight up with you, like, the best move Tyranitar learns is, well, Ancient Power, I think. Pretty sure Tyranitar learns Ancient Power, but then Crunch, which Crunch is good. But that's kind of it. Like, there's not a whole lot else that Tyranitar learns that's like, okay, well, that's our moneymaker right there, you know? And again, he's a very good Pokemon, so if you can just teach it, like, something really strong beyond that, then you're set for the rest of the run. But, yeah, we just have to come down to what our TMs are and how much we feel like grinding up a freaking T-Tar. And I gotta be honest with you, if it came down to it and I was like, yeah, I think we want to put Tyranitar on the team, I would probably grind that off camera. just because that would take so long. Like, just an unholy amount of time. And I wouldn't make you guys sit through that. It would be impossibly boring, and coming up with conversation throughout that entire swath of content, like, it would seriously take up multiple episodes, not just one. Multiple episodes of just grinding up a single Pokemon, and no one wants to see that. You know, that's high-key skip territory, and I would. Now again, if anything like happened, I'd tell you. I'd probably like pop it onto a recording real quick, or I would just be like, at the start of the next episode, I'd just be like, hey, by the way, here's what happened, sorry. You know, like if we lost someone, or we even lost Larvitar slash Pupitar slash Titar, or, you know, something went wrong, then I would let you know. But it's, you know, the most likely thing that would happen is I would lose the tar from whatever grinding habits or whatever have you I was doing. That would be the most likely thing to come about. It wouldn't be like, oh, we found a Master Ball, or oh, I don't know, we blew up the universe. I don't know. You know, nothing crazy would come of it. It's just we would probably lose a Pokemon, and that would be what I would have to tell you. I'd have to report back to you, like saying, like, hey, I'm keeping myself honest. Here's what happened, and I would do that. You have to trust me on that. That, like, I'm an honest guy. I play Nuzlocke on my own, off camera, and when I do them, I keep myself to a standard of honesty that I would maintain for the channel, especially. I wouldn't be like, oh, well, you know, they didn't see it, so haha, I can just go. Like, no, ain't no way. I ain't no jerk. I ain't that kind of guy. Do we have anything that can put you to sleep, paralyze you, poison you, something? Let's see. We have Confuse Ray and Confuse Ray. There's nothing else that I can use on you that you would survive. So I think where you're at right now is good enough, because you're not gonna hurt. Like, if we confuse you one more time, there's a chance that you knock yourself out. Would I use a Master Ball on a Larvitar? Absolutely not. I hate to tell you, I love the design of the LPT TARs, but ain't no way you're getting me to commit to a Master Ball for one. Especially not in this generation, where it's like, yes, really strong Pokemon. Couldn't catch it in an Ultra Ball, but a Pokeball will do it. So there's a very obvious name, and I'm definitely naming it this. Like, come on. What else would I call this? Hey, don't go to the Ripyard. That's not where you belong. Is there a PC near here? No. Let me talk to Oak, because he'll tell me if we can get the 41 owned. I don't know. Cool. Stop! Thank you. I don't know if we can get the experience share just yet. Can we use the PC in here to rearrange our Pokemon? Hey, Ma. I know it's been like freaking months since you've seen me last, but I ain't here to talk to you. No, we can't. B. Alright, fine, we'll talk to you. Thank you. I appreciate a quick rest. Not that we, like, super need it, but thanks. Yeah, I think we'll go up and we'll just move Godzilla quick, just to make sure that we don't forget it. Ah! Oh yeah, Anaranth, I forgot that you were here. Freaking fossil Pokemon in Route 1 that we never got because your catchphrase ridiculous. Or did we actually encounter the other thing instead? I don't remember what the other thing was either. It's been far too long. We encountered you and couldn't catch you because you were strong enough to actually threaten our Raikou. I believe was the case. That or we one-hit KO'd you. One or the other. Don't really remember. Doesn't matter. Just being honest with you, it don't matter. So, now, what do we do, right? Do we just beeline it straight south from Pallet Town? Or do we cut from east to west from whatever town that Koga's in? I don't remember. You don't have an item for me, huh? We're gonna have to have some words, Godzilla. And I think south from Pallet Town is the way to go. Though I will say, we should fly and get some more Ultra Balls real quick. Just because if we can fill up on a little bit more of those, well, nah, we got plenty. Come on, don't be a baby. This is where we encounter something really cool that we're not willing to spend a Master Ball on, like a... What would that be? I almost said Metagross, but no, high key we would. if we encountered a Metagross and couldn't catch it by other means, no, we're Master Balling friggin' Metagross. Metagross is one of my favorite pseudo legendaries in the game. I love Metagross to no end. And like I think the only other pseudo legendary that high for me, is this grass just only Larvitars? It's possible. I think the only other pseudo legendary for me that like matters is probably Dragonite. I love Dragonite. I'm trying to think of other pseudo legendaries because like there's all the fossil Pokemon, sure, but like I don't really care. I think it's just the Larvitars in there. So we're gonna swim around here and just see what level stuff is and what the encounter would have been. A Numel. Level 39 though. That'll be some good XP, I tell you what. Like, dang, that's some good XP. That's some tasty gold. 490. It's not bad. It's not bad. What else? Is there anything else up here? I could fish too, but I'm not really gonna spend that much time. All right, we'll move on. Level 7. See, that's why I'm always worried about doing swimming encounters because variance is high. So next route we come across here, we'll be able to catch something and like, yeah, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other if you want to fish or swim for it. Like honestly, like the old rod is almost as good as swimming sometimes. Grimer, yo, Muck's sick, dude. I know that like I pretty heavily disrespect poison types, but Muck is one of the few that I'm like, but Muck's stats are pretty alright, and like Sludge Bomb and the other moves he learns are pretty cool. I like Muck. Coughing and wheezing, not so much. What other poison types are there? Ariados? You know how I feel about bug types. What else is there? Poison types. Arbok. Arbok's pretty cool. I like the look of Arbok, but moveset not like it's fine, and stats are fine. But I don't think I'd run an Arbok. I might, but team would have to be pretty stretched thin for me to run an Arbok. What else is there? There's the Nidos. That makes sense. I'm staring at it. King and Queen I like. Obviously, like later on, there's a competitive version of Nido Queen, but in this generation, I don't typically run the Nidos just because like so their stats are pretty good, but you have to teach them the good moves through TMs or by leveling them up way too high. Earthquake, I think, is like the most notable move that they learn, and if I'm gonna have a Pokemon know Earthquake, I'd rather be Stab. Because I think, well, are they Poison Ground? They might be, and in that case, that's fine, but I would rather have a Rock Ground type. Like, I really like Rock Ground. By the way, that's my chair, in case you're wondering, the groaning and the creaking. It's very much so my chair. But Like Earthquake's a great move, but I like rock ground types. You know, like a Golem or a Rhydon's pretty alright. Hard to get a Rhydon. You know, having a level 60, but Latios, you say. No, I can't do it. That's foolish. I really wish we could, but we cannot. Yeah, it's gotta be Torchy. I hate to say it, it's just gotta be Torchy. But yeah, it's just... It's a weird spot to be in, right? Where I don't have a reason for liking rock ground, other than I just do. I gotta tell you, a freaking Aggron would be sick. That would be dope to have an Aggron on our team, having a steel rock type. That would replace Bob in a heartbeat. But again, getting an Aaron or a Larion up to an Aggron is really tough. It's like, I would put it in the same category of toughness as getting a freaking Dratini or a Dragonair to a Dragonite. The Dragonite's great. I adore Dragonite. Like, the lore of Dragonite is really fun. The look of Dragonite I like a lot. You know, the big old dopey dragon is really fun. And the whole, like, powerhouse of, like, Hyper Beam on a Dragonite is really good. Not to mention that, speaking of Dragon type is, like, kind of ridiculous in Generation, in Gen 3, like, against AI especially, where, like, the only two things that affect it are Dragon or Ice, and almost everything else that you're going to be running on a team is going to heavy resist it. And then Dragon type moves are like resisted by so few things that, like, it's just so good. Like Salamence, now that's another Pokemon that used to be my favorite Dragon type by far, but Dragonite came out of nowhere for me. Like, as I've gotten older, I've really related more and more to Dragonite. The whole big dope that's just trying to help and is, like, really nice to people that are nice to it. That's just kind of... I eat that up. You know, more of that, please. It's yummy. Because, like, Salamence is super cool, don't get me wrong, but it's also, like, it's really edgy at the same time. Stats are good. Moveset's pretty good, too. Like really good. I shouldn't even say pretty good. Like, it's just kind of a better dragon moveset that Dragonite will ever learn, but on the other hand, Dragonite's my boy. Or girl. No judgment. Ooh, excuse me. Call him for help. Talk about normal types I like. I really like slacking. I wish there were a way to have it not have slack off. I know that that's the point. That's why it's so stat heavy. But it's just, that's the big thing holding it back. The only normal type that I really... Hello. Freaking... This is canon, dude. The only normal type that I, like, super consider running, and I've covered this before, but it's Snorlax. For sure it's Snorlax, because Snorlax is, like, he's so beefy, dude. In terms of HP and stats. Like, his defense stats are pretty nutty. Plus, like, Belly Drum is really good. I know that some people mad disrespect Belly Drum, especially in a Nuzlocke, and I understand why. But if you can get away with a Belly Drum in any Pokemon sense, like, oh baby. That's why actually freaking Lanoon is, like, seriously viable, because it's so fast that if you Belly Drum Baton Pass, you're set. You know, because you max out the attack on whatever Pokemon you want to be your sweeper in 2 turns without actually ever having the Pokemon that is your sweeper be in danger. Please hit. Thank you. So it's just so nutty, and plus Lanoon is, like, got such a high speed stat that you don't have anything to worry about, and his defense isn't that bad. But I freaking spin him, dude. You know what? Have the Aegis take it. Wait, you don't have Fire Punch anymore. No, you fool. I just talked about how I'd never use... Oh wait, you're not even... Never mind, you're... I thought you were Spinnerack, not Spinda. Heck yeah. This is the move. And it landed, so that'll kill ya. But, yeah, no, I just... I've been playing... Actually, funny enough, that friend that derailed me earlier... I've been playing this online game. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Pokemon Showdown, and it's pretty fun. We've been doing a lot of random battles and stuff, and it's supposed to be of teams that are like quote unquote competitive. Oh, is this a? Yeah, it is. Frickin' A. Well, let's see what we get. We get a problem. That's what we get. But, man, Stantler is, like, actually a pretty good Pokemon. So... Don't have Ancient Power, please. That would be devastating if Cradily had Ancient Power and used it on Lizardius. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. No fear. Just don't crit me, Stantler. That's all I beg of you. Anyway, so I've been playing Pokemon Showdown with that friend, and it's a lot of fun. It's really good. If you've never played it before, I recommend giving it a shot with someone you know. Because, like, doing the online random stuff is, like, no fun, because you're just going to get steamrolled by people, and it's whatever. Unless you're, like, really good at Pokemon, which you could be. But, you know, disregarding that, it's really good, and we've been playing it, and it's supposed to give you competitive teams. And I say supposed to because, like, boy, sometimes you get messed up. So, like, we do random battles most commonly. That's, like, our go-to for what we're playing against each other, just because it's really fun to do that. So you just pick a generation, and then it gives you a random team that's, again, supposed to be competitive, but, like, sometimes you end up getting a Volbeat on your team. And now, sometimes that Volbeat feels like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty useful on this setup. I like that. And other times you're like, man, this Volbeat's moves are garbage. Why do I even have it? You know, sometimes you get 3 legendaries, and they all have a pretty decent moveset. Sometimes you get a legendary, and it's a Toxic Staller with no defensive moves. Like, I had a... what was it? I think it was a Lugia that knew Toxic, and then... Oh, excuse me. It knew Baton Pass, Toxic, Corsola. What type is Corsola? Riddle me that. Corsola. You rock water? You smell like a rock water to me? I think you smell like a rock water to me. You are. Alright. In Komodo we trust to one-shot and save the day. Because I was like, well, we could put Torchy in. And we could. But if we can quad effect with a Leaf Blade, because Komodo's going to be faster. So if we can get a quad effect, there's a good shot at a one-shot. And we need that. Yeah, okay, we got it. Because, like, the worry was, like, getting a mirror coat was my fear. You all knew it. Say, you know, it's kind of a it's like kind of a say it with me now sort of situation, but I didn't ask you to say it with me. But yeah, like I had it was a Lugia that knew Baton Pass, Toxic, and 2 other moves, neither of which were stat affecting, so I have no idea why you would ever have Baton Pass on it, because it's like, what good could come from Baton Passing a non-stat affected Pokemon, you know? And I didn't have an answer. Genuinely, I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. And then, you know, sometimes you get a freaking Minun on your team. I don't know if I need to tell you this, but Minun sucks. There's no redeeming qualities about a plus or minus. That's not true. They're cute. They're very cute. That is redeeming about them. But that's it. Like, everything else about those Pokemon, ugh. Speaking of Volbeat. So, you know, it's really weird. And plus you get some, like, surprises in there. Like, I didn't think Lanoon was any good. I was just like, it's just a random normal type. I don't care. But then I had a freaking belly drum baton pass Lanoon go up against me, and it swept, excuse me, not sweeped. It swept my team because this isn't evolved. Because it baton passed to a very heavy attack stat focused Pokemon that was type effective, at least neutrally, against my entire team, and had a choice item on that also boosted attack. So it was like, its attack stat, I think, because it was me and this friend, so like we would hover over and see the attack stats and stuff, and that did nothing. Yowza. We're gonna switch over to frickin' Fight Boy. So, by the way, it just sunk in. I just remembered why I named this Pokemon the Ages. It's because it's a dumb Rocky joke. Like, for the past, like, 3 episodes, I've been like, I don't remember why I called frickin' Hitmonchan the Ages, and it's been, like, burning a hole in my brain. I felt like I was losing brain cells. Like, what happened in my delirious state? And it just sunk in. It's a Rock of Ages joke, because I was like, he's Rocky, because he's a boxer. And then, which, by the way, confession time, never seen Rocky yet. I intend to, just haven't. And then, from there, I went, okay, we're going to make an even deeper cut joke of Rock of Ages with Rocky. So Rocky of Ages, so he is the Ages. And it's like, man, that's so stupid. And I love it. That's like, I don't remember what movie it is, but it's got this actress who's always typecast as like the dumb blonde, but she's really good at it and is actually super funny at it. I can't remember her name, and I don't mean that to be rude. Like, that's her character. She was in like the Scream movies as in like, spoiler alert, in the for a spoof film that came out in like the early 2000s, I think it was. But her character in Scream, I think it's Scream 1, plays like the Cynthia character or whatever her name is, and dies in like the first like 5 minutes of that movie, I think. She's in like every scary movie. Let me look this up. Hang on. Scary a movie, please. Nope, not Scary Movies. Scary Movie, the movie. Oh, I was like, that did a lot of damage. No, it did 37 damage, as it should. I know the Wayans brothers are in it, but not them. Anna Faris, that's who it is. She, insanely funny person. Like, genuinely, I know she plays like the ditzy dumb person, but she's actually a really smart and genuinely funny comedian. And it's a shame that like that's the character she had to do. It's actually kind of like a, not as much. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it's to this degree, but it's kind of like a Marilyn Monroe situation where it's someone who is very typecast, despite being a lot more than what they're cast as. Because she's cast as like a very dumb person, but Anna Faris is like actually a really, really funny person. The reason she's able to play a dumb type of character so... Don't give me a little smooch. I didn't ask for that. The reason she's able to play that so well is because she is genuinely funny. So she's able to portray someone who's being stupid so effectively because she's a funny person, knows how to use it to her advantage. She knows how to not make it a weakness to be that typecast person. We're calling for help. And so she was in some movie, and I don't remember what movie it is. And believe me, I know it took me a very long time to get to this part, but this is, you know, more or less why I brought this up. So she's in this movie. Don't remember the name of the movie. But she has this monologue where she gets like super high and she is like sitting in an armchair or something like that, and it's just like having an inner monologue to herself and just thinking, and she's like, what if, she's like, I basically like the thought, and I'm gonna hyper reduce this down, like it's way funnier in context and if you see the movie, but she's very high and she's thinking to herself and she's like, man, I really like lasagna. You know, it'd be funny if I just framed a picture of lasagna and put that on my wall. She's like, wait, you know who else really likes lasagna? Garfield. What if I hung a picture of Garfield on the wall? And people would be like, oh, you like Garfield? And I'd be like, no, I like lasagna, like Garfield. And then she's like, wait, what if I took it a step further and hung a picture of former President Andrew Garfield on the wall? Because then it's like a thought within a thought within a thought. So it's like, hey, why do you have this picture of this random dude on your wall? It's not a random dude, it's Andrew Garfield. And they're like, why do you have that on your wall? And you're like, because I like lasagna. And like, that is the level of like humor that, excuse me, that's not the level of humor, because that's much funnier. Make no mistake that I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm that funny, but it's the level of thought line that brought me to naming Hitmonchan The Ages, because like I had to rerun through that thought process in order to re-arrive at the joke. That's not where I want to play. Well, actually, that's fine. So believe me, if you kept looking at that, because I don't know if I explained that to you guys or not. If you were looking at that and were like hyper confused, like what is this guy talking about? That's where that joke comes from, and that's where that thought process comes from. I think it's a very funny thought process when done by funny people, but I am not a funny people. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? I'm gonna call it an episode. I think I've done enough today, and I'm sure you think the same because you just had to listen to me talk about how funny I am. But, you know, the usual thank you for coming along for the ride, and by the next episode we'll make it to Cinnabar, for sure. I don't know what we'll do there. We certainly won't be fighting Blaine in the next episode, I can guarantee you that. But, yo, next episode we'll find out our fossil Pokemon. Let's go, baby. Okay, so that's something to look forward to, sweetenly. Look forward to that, and look forward to, I don't know, me having more to say about random stuff. I haven't even figured out a thought train for the next episode, but we'll get there. But again, thank you for coming along for the ride, and until then, I'll be seeing you. But just know that we'll be back soon. See ya!